Scorpio, something powerful is moving toward you, and the energy surrounding May 26 and 27 feels impossible to ignore. That quiet feeling in your chest, the sense that life is beginning to shift in a new direction, is not something you imagined. It is real. And if this message found you today, it happened through timing far deeper than coincidence. This is more than another horoscope video. It feels like an echo of a truth your spirit has carried for a long time. In many ways, you have been walking toward this moment longer than you realize. The final days of May feel like standing at the edge of a doorway after a long, emotional winter. For so long, you survived quietly, carrying financial pressure and emotional weight while still trying to appear strong for everyone around you. You worked harder, hoped harder, and waited for proof that your effort meant something. Now the shift you prayed for is beginning to come into view. This is no longer some distant promise.
The energy is already unfolding around you.
Astrologically, Jupiter, the planet connected to growth, abundance, and divine support, is illuminating your second house of money, self-worth, and material stability. That alone feels like a green light from the universe, but the energy deepens even more. A crescent moon sharpens your intuition, helping you separate opportunity from fear and truth from anxious thinking. The skies of late May feel alive with movement, as though unseen doors are quietly beginning to open in your favor. But this moment is not only about astrology, it is also about your heart and everything it has carried in silence. Think about the nights you stayed awake, wondering whether your effort mattered at all. Think about the quiet prayers you whispered when nobody else could hear them. Think about the moments when you felt unseen, emotionally exhausted, or forgotten, despite how much you continued giving. None of it went unnoticed. Spirit witnessed every part of it, and now something is beginning to answer you. This energy feels like restoration, just as much as blessing. It is not only about money arriving, but about finally feeling supported after carrying too much alone for too long. Even the tarot reflects this shift with remarkable clarity. The Star and the Ace of Pentacles appear together as reminders that healing follows loss, and that even the driest seasons eventually welcome rain again. Scorpio, let yourself truly take that in. Your relationship with abundance is beginning to change. Something sacred has already been set into motion, and the energy of receiving is moving closer to you now. Your task is not to force it or chase it, but to allow yourself to welcome it without fear. If something inside you already feels like it is softening or awakening, anchor that feeling by commenting, 777, I'm ready to receive what's already finding me. Do not let this become another message you simply scroll past. Speak it aloud and claim your place inside this moment. And before we continue, thank you for being here and sharing your energy in this space. Every comment, every like, every share, and every subscription helps these messages reach people searching for hope in uncertain moments. Your presence matters more than you realize, and the energy you bring here helps keep this space meaningful. So stay with me, Scorpio, because what unfolds next will not only confirm the shift you already feel inside, but also expand what you believe is possible. You were never meant to stay trapped in survival mode forever. You are here to rise beyond that story, to receive without guilt, and to allow abundance to move through your life with intention and grace. Take a slow breath now and let yourself settle into this energy. Something that once felt distant is beginning to bloom directly in front of you. And to understand why these final days of May feel so charged with possibility, we need to look toward the sky for a moment, because the universe is always speaking through patterns, alignments, and quiet forms of divine timing. And right now, Scorpio, it feels like the universe is speaking directly into your life. As the energy of May 26 and 27 unfolds, Jupiter moves through your second house of income, value, and material security. This is not random movement in the sky. It feels more like life itself rearranging around your expansion. Jupiter does not simply bring luck, it magnifies whatever it touches, and for you, it is illuminating the very foundation of how you view money, worth, and stability. This season reaches far beyond financial gain alone. It is about healing old stories of lack that may have followed you through family patterns, past experiences, or fears buried beneath the surface for years. The energy now asks you to move from believing you must constantly struggle to survive into understanding that it is finally safe to receive. That is the deeper gift of this transit. Jupiter is not only placing blessings in your hands, it is helping you become the version of yourself capable of holding them with confidence and emotional balance. This is an important moment to look honestly at your relationship with receiving. Ask yourself whether part of you still believes love must be earned through exhaustion, or whether ease secretly feels unfamiliar when life begins softening. Notice if guilt or fear still appears when you imagine wealth, support, or stability becoming natural parts of your reality. Jupiter challenges these patterns not to shame you, but to stretch you beyond limitations you have carried for far too long. The places where you once felt restricted are becoming the exact places where growth begins. When Jupiter moves through the second house, it often brings visible changes such as new opportunities, career movement, increased income, or support arriving unexpectedly. But beneath those external shifts, something deeper is happening. You are learning how to feel emotionally safe with more instead of fearing it. You are discovering how to receive without apology and how to trust that abundance is not something earned through suffering, but something your spirit was always meant to experience. This is where faith enters the picture in a more grounded way. Not forced positivity, but the kind of faith that allows you to trust what your spirit senses before your eyes can fully see it. Real faith reminds you that you are already worthy and already supported. Your future does not need to repeat the emotional weight of your past. Jupiter is not asking you to pretend everything is perfect. It is asking you to believe life can finally unfold differently. During this season, one of the most powerful things you can do is make space for the abundance you have been calling toward yourself. Write your intentions as though they are already beginning to bloom. Speak gratitude before the evidence fully arrives. Pay attention to the quiet instincts guiding you toward conversations, opportunities, investments, or decisions that feel aligned with your growth. Jupiter supports movement and openness. It responds to people willing to trust their inner direction more than old fear patterns. This is more than a financially promising chapter. It feels like a sacred opening where life begins shifting around you in visible and invisible ways at the same time. The late May skies carry the feeling that something larger is quietly supporting your expansion behind the scenes. So breathe deeply, Scorpio. You are no longer chasing the universe for scraps of hope. You are answering an invitation already unfolding around you. The old survival story is beginning to loosen its grip, and something fuller is finally starting to take root. And as we continue through this message together, slow down for a moment and really feel the atmosphere surrounding this chapter of your life. You have already started sensing that deeper shift taking place beneath the surface, the turning point Jupiter awakened in your second house. But now the tarot steps forward with something even more personal. Two cards appeared within the energy of May 26 and 27, carrying a message connected to your spirit, your finances, and the direction your future is beginning to move toward. These are not random symbols. The first card to appear is the Star, a symbol that often rises after life has carried you through its hardest emotional seasons. It does not arrive loudly or demand attention. Instead, it enters quietly, like warm air moving through an open window after a long period of holding yourself together. This card appears when your spirit is finally ready to breathe again. It is not pretending every wound has vanished overnight, but gently reminding you that healing has already started, and that even the smallest return of hope can begin changing everything. For Scorpio, the star speaks directly to the emotional depths you rarely reveal to anyone else. You understand what it means to carry pain silently, to move through uncertainty, and to stay strong for others while quietly exhausting yourself inside. Financial stress, loneliness, fear, and emotional fatigue have all shaped you, yet you still kept moving forward. That is why this card feels so personal. It reflects the truth that nothing you survived was meaningless. Every difficult season became part of the ground where new hope could eventually grow. This is not empty positivity pretending pain never happened. It is the kind of healing that forms after something inside you breaks open and slowly learns how to trust life again.
You are no longer searching outside yourself for rescue,
because part of you now understands that strength has been living within you the entire time. And from that softer place, where survival slowly turns into self-trust, the second card begins to appear, the Ace of Pentacles. Although this card is often connected to money, opportunities, or financial growth, its meaning reaches far beyond material gain alone. The Ace of Pentacles represents a new foundation, a doorway into a life built on stability, alignment, and meaningful expansion. It feels like the first visible sign that something you quietly prayed for is finally beginning to take root in the physical world. Yet what matters most is not how quickly this seed grows, but how prepared the soil beneath it has become. And Scorpio, your soil has changed. The years that forced you through emotional rebuilding and personal transformation have prepared you to receive blessings that may not have been possible before. This card suggests you are not only entering a stronger financial chapter, but also forming a completely new relationship with abundance itself. Money no longer arrives carrying shame, fear, or emotional heaviness. It begins arriving with clarity, steadiness, and a deeper sense of alignment. So how do you recognize when these energies are unfolding around you? At first, the signs may appear quietly. A message unexpectedly opens a new path. Someone speaks your name in a room you never imagined entering. An opportunity reconnects you to a dream you once buried beneath survival and responsibility. These moments are not coincidences. They are confirmations that something inside you has finally aligned with what your soul has been moving toward all along. You are someone who walked through emotional fire and still kept your heart open. Even in silence, uncertainty, and exhaustion, some part of you continued reaching toward hope. Because of that, the Star and the Ace of Pentacles are not rewards being handed down to you. They are reflections of who you have become. You are stepping into a version of yourself that no longer questions whether receiving is allowed, and life is beginning to answer that shift. So let this message settle gently inside you. You are not behind, you are not lost, and you are not too late for the life your spirit has been calling toward. The energy surrounding these final days of May feels deeply aligned, and the invitation in front of you is simple. Trust what your soul already knows. Something meaningful is opening, and this season carries the warmth of finally coming home to yourself. Scorpio, by now you can probably feel that something subtle but powerful is changing around you. The movement in the stars has already opened a doorway, and the tarot has confirmed that your inner light is slowly returning. But energy is not only something distant or invisible. It speaks through your environment, your thoughts, your choices, and even the way you move through everyday life. During these final days of May, one of the most important things you can do is allow your outer world to reflect the energy of the life you are preparing to receive. Frequency exists in everything. Your voice carries it, your surroundings carry it. Even the private conversations you have with yourself shape the emotional atmosphere around you. Every thought either moves you closer to expansion or keeps you tied to old cycles of fear and contraction. That is why the number 777 feels so significant during this season. It is more than a lucky number. It feels like confirmation that one chapter is ending, while a new rhythm quietly begins unfolding. In spiritual numerology, 777 represents the completion of an old karmic cycle and the beginning of a season where support and unexpected blessings arrive more naturally. It marks the shift from constantly surviving into learning how to feel supported by life again. But numbers like this are not meant to remain passive symbols. They become powerful when intention connects to them. Writing 777 somewhere visible or keeping it near your wallet or vision board becomes a quiet declaration that you are ready to receive from trust rather than fear. And when that number begins appearing around you on clocks, receipts, or random signs, let it remind you to remain emotionally open. Color carries energy in the same way. Emerald green is often connected to healing, but it also resonates with trust, openness, and the ability to receive without exhaustion. Surrounding yourself with this color through clothing, objects, or visualization can gently remind your nervous system that abundance no longer needs to be chased through struggle. Then there is gold, a color tied to prosperity, value, and inner worth. Beyond symbolism, gold carries the feeling of embodied confidence. It reminds you that abundance is not something you beg life to give you, but something you slowly learn to hold naturally. Wearing gold, imagining golden light during meditation, or simply keeping that warmth in your awareness can begin shifting how you speak, choose, and carry yourself through the world. None of this is about pretending to be someone else. It is about reconnecting with yourself through symbols and practices that speak directly to your spirit. This is where intention slowly becomes embodiment. When you consciously choose the energy you want to live inside through color, affirmation, and ritual, you stop waiting for the outside world to prove your readiness. You begin becoming the signal itself. A simple way to anchor this energy each morning is to wear something green or gold before beginning your day. Place your hand over your heart and repeat 3 times, "I am worthy, I am chosen, I am ready." Then write down one area of your life where you are ready to move from scarcity into overflow, and place 777 beside it. Not from desperation, but as a reminder that you are aligning yourself with something greater than fear. These practices are not shortcuts or magic tricks. They are gentle invitations back into the truth that your energy shapes the reality you experience. And when your frequency begins rising, even gradually, life responds with surprising precision. The shift begins the moment you stop waiting for abundance to prove your worth and start living as though your worth has already existed within you all along. And Scorpio, this is where the miracle finally begins to meet you. Everything we have explored together has been quietly guiding you toward this moment, the moment where constant striving softens and receiving begins to take its place. You have not only been carrying financial pressure, beneath that weight lived emotional exhaustion, old survival patterns, and the belief that you always had to remain strong, no matter how overwhelming life became. But the energy surrounding these final days of May is inviting you into something very different. It is inviting you into a kind of freedom that begins inside your own spirit first. This freedom is not about suddenly fixing every problem around you. It starts when you finally allow yourself to stop fighting every second of your life. As Jupiter moves through your second house, it highlights much more than money or material growth. It brings attention to the emotional patterns beneath your relationship with safety, worth, and control. Many people spend years believing peace can only exist if they stay hyper-alert, overworked, and emotionally guarded. But that belief was never your deepest truth. Somewhere along the way, struggle became connected to identity, and survival started feeling like proof of strength. Rest may have felt dangerous, and ease may have felt unfamiliar after so many years of pressure. Yet your spirit was never meant to live trapped in endless defense mode. The healing, arriving now, asks for something softer and far more honest. It asks you to consider what life could feel like if your worth no longer depended on how much pain you could endure. This movement from scarcity into abundance is not only about outer success, it is about creating enough inner safety that peace no longer feels temporary or suspicious. When your nervous system finally begins relaxing inside your own life, your relationship with money naturally changes too. Opportunities stop feeling like threats waiting to disappear. Instead, you slowly become more open to receiving, holding, and growing what enters your life, because something inside you has finally aligned with the possibility that ease can exist for you too. Think of this season as crossing through a long desert beneath an unforgiving sun. For years, you kept moving forward through exhaustion, disappointment, and uncertainty, hoping the horizon would eventually change. There were moments when every promise looked like another mirage fading in the distance. But now, almost quietly, the landscape begins shifting beneath your feet. The air cools, the ground softens. Signs of life begin appearing where emptiness once stretched endlessly before you. This change is not happening because you suddenly became perfect or figured everything out overnight. It is happening because the drought season is finally loosening its grip on your life. And after years spent surviving chaos, even peace can feel unfamiliar at first. That is why gentleness matters so deeply during this chapter. Learning to receive abundance also means learning how to exist inside ease without guilt constantly pulling you backward. It means reaching the point where you can quietly tell yourself, "I think I'm finally allowed to be okay now," and actually letting those words settle into your body. As you move through this transition, create a small grounding space somewhere in your home. It does not need to be elaborate or perfect. A candle, a coin, or a written affirmation saying, "I am already provided for," is enough. Let it become a space where your mind softens, your nervous system settles, and your heart slowly remembers what trust feels like again. Because the truth is, Scorpio, you are not behind in life, and you were never meant to carry every burden alone. You are moving into alignment with something greater than fear, something that does not require endless struggle for you to deserve peace. If this season really is the beginning of your blessings, then the deeper question becomes whether you are ready to receive them without guilt or apology. You do not need to become perfect before your life begins changing. You only need willingness. Willingness to rest, to trust, and to believe that what is coming toward you is not payment for pain, but a return to something your soul always deserved. And this season is not only about financial relief or emotional comfort. It is awakening something connected to your deeper purpose. The opportunities, support, and alignment entering your life now are reflections of the resilience you carried through silence and the faith you protected during difficult years. None of your pain was meaningless. Every experience refined you and shaped within you something more valuable than money alone. You now carry compassion, perspective, emotional wisdom, and the kind of understanding that can genuinely help other people feel less alone. Think of yourself less as someone meant to save everyone, and more like a lighthouse, standing quietly near the shoreline. A lighthouse does not chase people or beg for attention. It simply remains steady enough to guide others through darkness when they need direction. That grounded presence is part of the energy you are growing into now. Your healing and your survival have become proof that transformation is possible, and that alone can inspire more people than you realize. Maybe this next chapter means helping someone who feels trapped in fear around money or survival. Maybe it means finally beginning the project that has lived silently in your heart for years. Or maybe it simply means using your blessings with greater intention by giving wisely, investing carefully, and creating opportunities that continue growing long after this season ends. Real purpose rarely arrives loudly. More often, it grows through consistency, honesty, and the courage to keep showing up fully as yourself.
As your life slowly begins reflecting the abundance you once only imagined from a distance, you may feel called to give back in meaningful ways. Listen to that instinct, but let your generosity come from fullness instead of guilt. You were never meant to hide the goodness arriving in your life or cling to it from fear of losing it again. You were meant to carry it with gratitude and allow it to create healing beyond yourself. And as you continue rising into this new chapter, Scorpio, the people around you will begin rising too. Not because you rescue them, but because your transformation becomes proof that healing is possible. Let the way you spend, speak, and move through life reflect the values your soul fought hard to reclaim. Let your success tell a story of healing, alignment, resilience, and the quiet courage it took to keep believing through difficult seasons. If you are still here listening to this message, then something inside you has already shifted. This was never just another video passing through your day.
It became a remembering of who you are beneath survival mode, scarcity thinking, and the pressure to hold everything together alone. The energy surrounding May 26th and 27 carries the feeling of a doorway, slowly opening beneath your feet. Jupiter continues illuminating your second house of wealth, worth, and emotional security. The star and the ace of pentacles appear as symbols of renewal, grounded blessings, and new beginnings beginning to take shape in your life. Meanwhile, 777 echoes through this season like confirmation that your struggles were seen and that the shift you hoped for is already beginning to answer you. Through the energy of emerald green and gold, your spirit starts aligning more naturally with the abundance that has always belonged to you. But remember this, Scorpio, you do not need every detail of the future figured out before taking the next step.
You only need one honest breath, one moment of trust, one decision that says you are finally ready to move differently now. The path begins revealing itself the moment you choose to walk it. So make this moment real for yourself. Write it down, speak it aloud, anchor it into your spirit by commenting 777, I'm ready to receive what's already finding me. Do not let this become another inspiring message that fades once life becomes busy again. Let this be the moment your voice joins the energy of the future already unfolding around you. And before this message settles into silence, remember this truth, Scorpio. You are the one capable of changing the emotional and financial story carried through your lineage. The burdens you survived were never meant to destroy you. They prepared you for the version of yourself now beginning to emerge. Your breakthrough is no longer waiting somewhere far away from you. It has already started unfolding around you.